welcome back to an episode of Off the Shelf. I'm your host, Turn Time HD, and this week, what we found off the shelf was...
I have to destroy a postal truck filled with lethal microbes before a doomsday cult or a terrorist group destroys the entire world.
Yeah, like I believe that.
Bring on the monkeys!
Oh, not the monkeys.
Where'd you get so many monkeys?
I don't know. I got nothing to do with this.
Postal, based on the cult classic video game franchise. I don't really know how to describe it. Postal, mainly based off Postal 2, made by Uwe Boll, the greatest filmmaker of all time. And if you disagree with me, you have never seen Alone in the Dark or any of his other shitty video game movies. And also, if you disagree with him, he will box you. And if you disagree with me, he will still box you. By the way, this film is also starring Zack as the is the postal dude, and also Dave Foley as Uncle Dave, which I will get into later. But this film, I will say, is not very good. Of course, being a Uwe Boll video game movie, it is not warranted to be very good, and I think I can say that because I'm pretty sure Uwe Boll is too old to box people now. I don't know, maybe not. Whatever, I guess I'll see in a few days. I'll have to check my email. But, yeah, being an Uwe Boll video game movie, it is not very good objectively, right? Like, I think most people can agree, this is not a very good film. But, in a very specific situation, as an adaptation of Postal, it's perfect. Literally. Like, it replicates the style of Postal 2 and onward, just so well. Like, I feel like Uwe Boll was the perfect director for this film because the games are bad, right? They're bad games on purpose, right? And this movie is a bad movie on purpose. Like, this movie's not trying to be a good movie. It knows what it is, right? And that's the best part, is because it's shitty and it's hilarious, because this film had a $15 million budget and it made like it made $150,000 in the box office. Like, I love Postal, right? I think Postal's great. I think Postal's funny. I like Postal as a franchise. Well, mainly Postal 2. Postal 2 is like the best game. But like, I guess maybe you could say Postal 1's better gameplay-wise, I don't know. But Postal is ridiculous, right? And this movie is ridiculous, but it's niche, right? Yeah, it might be great, and maybe it's more popular due to the internet nowadays, but even then, like, this is just such an obscure franchise to make a theatrical film on. Like, no wonder it bombed and didn't even make 1% of its budget. Like, what? I mean, I don't really know what compelled Uwe Boll to make a Postal movie, because this movie didn't even really, like, come out when Postal 2 came out. Because when Postal 2 came out, that was, like, 2004, and this was 2007. So, like, it was 3 years after the release of Postal 2. But, I mean, yeah, Postal 2 was still probably one of the most controversial games ever released. It was banned in a shit ton of countries, including Germany. It was just super duper controversial at the time. So maybe they could have used that as, like, press for the movie, right? And the movie is super offensive, it's controversial, they're like stereotypical, like, Taliban terrorists. Osama bin Laden's in the movie, so is George W. Bush, the W, he's in the movie. And it's like, the whole movie is basically made to offend people. Like the video games, right? Even the first Postal was made to rustle a few jimmies, you know what I mean? It was made to piss people off or offend people in a way. Postal 2 definitely more, because, like, if you know anything about Postal 2, it's, like, I remember, let me paraphrase here, from another YouTuber, who basically said that if you're not familiar with the Postal franchise, it's essentially what older people, like, you know, those journalists say GTA is. You know, they say, like, oh, GTA, it's like the game is you can set people on fire and kill people and go on massacres, that's what the game's about. But that's not really what GTA is. I mean, yeah, you could do that, but that's not what it's about. That is absolutely what Postal is about. You just go on a killing rampage and you murder everybody. That's basically what Postal... I mean, it's called Postal. So, what do you expect? Or you could just wait in line at the bank, get a withdrawal, return a book to the library. Just do normal things. Because there's a pacifist route in Postal 2. You technically don't need to kill a single person or fire a single bullet out of a gun to beat the game, which is nice. You can just do your to-do list. You can just do your daily to-do list. It's up to you, and I like games that give you freedom. But, anyway, as I was saying, this film, as I said, is not great, but as an adaptation, it's great, because it makes fun of everybody. As an adaptation of a offensive video game franchise that's super controversial and super niche, this film falls right into that category. It is niche, it is offensive, it's vulgar, controversial, it's taboo, all those buzzwords, that you can throw out. But yeah, I really think that this film just, I don't even really know how to describe it. I mean, if you are familiar with Postal, you basically know what you're getting. You kill people, there's sex references, there's stupid jokes, kids die. I guess that's controversial. One thing I do have a problem with. Actually, I do like Zack Ward as the Postal dude. I do also think the community has kind of accepted him as a Postal dude, like, adaptation, which is nice, right? Because actually, I think, like, from what I've seen, the community of Postal seem to really at least like this movie. They seem to accept the movie as an adaptation of, like, their franchise, because, as I said, it's literally a perfect adaptation. It, like, really replicates the style of Postal. So, of course, the community would like it. And also, something that's cool, if you didn't know, in Postal 4, you can choose the voice of all the Postal dudes. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure they got Zack Ward to come back, and you could play as Zack Ward, Postal dude, in Postal 4, which is pretty cool, right? I think that's pretty cool. But, with all that being said, how was the movie itself? Like, I've kind of rambled on about the franchise and the game for a little bit, but how was the movie itself? I mean, as I said, it's a bad movie, right? It's a terrible movie, but, as I said, it is a good adaptation of Postal. So if you like Postal, you'll probably like this movie, but as I said, it's very niche. So if you don't, most people will probably not like this movie. Now, do you need to be a fan of the franchise to enjoy this film? Not necessarily. I mean, obviously, being a fan of the franchise would help, because you'd be familiar with the things going on, and you'd understand the references and stuff that they make to the games. But it's still enjoyable and a fun, like, dumb fun movie, so you could still get enjoyment out of that. I mean, obviously, some jokes would be funnier if you understood the, like, backstory of the game, or just the game in general. But, it's still fun, right? It's still stupid, definitely controversial, kind of taboo, there are some, definitely offensive, controversial things in there. So obviously this film, as I said, is definitely not for everybody, just like the Postal franchise. Which, I mean, makes it a perfect Postal adaptation, like I keep saying. It is perfect for it, because it fits right in. It's not a black sheep whatsoever. Because if you don't really know, the Postal games are kind of bad games, right? Kind of. And the fact that they're supposed to be. You're not, like, the AI, I think, is stupid, and they have weird voice lines on purpose. The acting was weird. Like, everything about the game is off. But so is the movie, right? A lot of things are off about the movie, and that's probably just Uwe Boll being Uwe Boll, but it fits. You know what I mean? It's like a piece of the puzzle, the Postal puzzle. Say that 3 times fast. But, now, here's the thing. Would I recommend this film? I'd say it depends. I'd say it depends on who you are. So if you like, I mean like, as not who you are as a person, okay? I mean like who you are as a movie goer, as a movie enjoyer. So, like, if you want to watch a more, like, streamlined comedy, or, like, a more normal action film, if you don't really want to watch something about terrorists shipping bombs in with dolls that look like dicks with a face, and then you like massacre kids. I don't really know if that's a film for you, right? But if you're a fan of Postal, or you like stupid, dumb, fun action films and don't really care about, like, offensive stuff or, like, things that could be, you know, like, as I said, taboo. Like, if you're not really, like, bothered by that kind of stuff, I do think you could get enjoyment out of this film. Because, again, it's stupid, it's really just ridiculous, it's fun, and I'd say it's just enjoyable in the fact that you can just laugh at it because of how stupid it is, and that's the point, right? So, yeah. But now, with that being said, I would recommend it for fans of Postal or dumb fun, like, you know, just want to have a good time with a stupid movie. But now, with that being said, I'm not going to do a normal rating for this film because I think it's kind of strange. So I'm going to give it 2 ratings. I'm going to give it the ironic enjoyment rating and the real movie rating. Now I'm going to give the real movie rating first. Now, on a real movie scale, so if you look at this movie as a real movie, an objective scale, it is terrible. It is not a great movie, right? So I'd probably give it like a 3 out of 10, right? So, not great. But, as an ironic enjoyment scale, I think this film is very enjoyable in that regard. So, I would give this film, on an ironic scale, a 7.5 out of 10. And, yeah, I think I've said what I say. I think I've said my piece. So, guys, I hope you like this video. Share with friends, subscribe, turn notifications on, comment below what you liked it. And I've been Runtime HD. Off to regret nothing. I think one of my favorite parts of the movie is, like, the little Germany part, because I think it's very self-aware in the fact that it's just ridiculous and, like, nothing makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, I really think, like, my favorite part is when the fucking creator of the game is, like, the guy in the crotchy costume, and he takes the mask off, and he's like, hey, what the fuck did you do to my video game Postal? And, like, in the bottom left corner, it says his name. At the bottom left corner, it says his name. Creator of the Postal video games. And then he just starts fucking attacking Uwe Boll and trying to kill him. And then Uwe Boll has a fucking boxing glove and just starts fighting him. And then the creator of the game gets shot and dies by Uwe Boll. And then Uwe Boll gets shot in the dick and he dies. It's ridiculous. I do think my favorite part was just the creator of the games just coming out of nowhere and just attacking Uwe Boll because Uwe Boll ruined his video game. I think that's pretty funny, honestly. Yeah.